Then let's start. It's already there.
Okay, sir. Good morning to all the
Morning,
participants
Good
and
morning, sir.
welcome to the session on India
Good
UK.
morning, Ashwin sir.
I would request Vice President Sir Ravikant Kapoor sir to initiate the session, and thereafter we will have presentation from Ajay Sai sir. Vice President sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, Dr. Ajay Sahai, sir. I believe this has been a historic award for India and the UK. It is going to be having a lot of ramifications worldwide with all our trading partners. We believe it will also be the precursor and would help in resolving the outstanding issues that we have with the India US BTA that is in progress. I would not like to take much more time on this. We are very keen to hear Dr. Ajay Sahai, who has gone quite deep on this matter, and to start the webinar and let us all and share his knowledge. Thank you very much, Dr. Ajay Sahai.
Thank you, sir. Let me first thank the Vice President, my past President, Shri Ashwini Kumar, other distinguished members of the board, friends from the exporting fraternity, everyone for joining us in this important virtual discussion on a very short time. As told by the Vice President, we all were waiting for this opportune time. India, in fact, has been a great votary of the multilateral trading system, but it is the ineffectiveness of the WTO which prompted India to join the race for the free trade agreement. And in fact, this was also coupled with the factor that most of the global trade was dominated by regional or bilateral free trade arrangements as well. Our real engagement with the free trade agreement started with ASEAN in 2010, though before that, we have our India-Sri Lanka free trade agreement, India-Nepal, India-Bhutan free trade agreement. We have AFTA, SAFTA. But the real test of the free trade agreement started only in 2010 with ASEAN countries. We followed it with the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement with Singapore, CEPA with Malaysia, and then followed it with the CEPA with Japan and South Korea. In fact, the result of these free trade agreements were not very encouraging, and logically so. These agreements were with the countries who were very strong in manufacturing, and therefore we landed up in a situation where import growth outpaced the export growth, and there was huge criticism of the free trade agreement also. This was also coupled with the fact that the concession which India was giving was front-loaded. The margin of preference with high tariff in India as compared to our trading partner has given more margins to our trading partner as compared to the Indian company. The good thing is that the government revisited the entire strategy for free trade agreement, and they have come with the new policy of the free trade agreement. They are focusing more on complementary economies so that the domestic industry is not competing much with free trade imports, and also those countries who are our large economies. So in this context, we will be making the presentation, and we will be focusing on the opportunities which is being created by the India-UK CETA, not only confined to the goods, but also to the services, to government procurement and other investment also. So let me share the presentation with you. Now, if you look into India, sorry. Now, as I was discussing with you, we started negotiating with complementary economies and the large export market. We formed up one with UAE, and in fact, if you look into India's CEPA with UAE, it is giving us a growth of around 10% when exports otherwise are stagnating. The AFTA with Australia has also started showing results, though we have to convert them into a comprehensive economic free partnership agreement. And we have also signed one with the European Free Trade Association consisting of Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and the Iceland. We also learned our lesson. We realized that some of the economies, particularly the AFTA economies, are small economies and probably we will not be gaining much in trade. And that's why we link this agreement with the investment. AFTA countries are required to invest in India over $100 billion in next 15 years, provided Indian economy remains vibrant, and I'm sure they will be doing. For me, the India-UK CETA is really the first truly free trade agreement, and I will illustrate why it is a truly free trade agreement, because almost on everything you are getting the zero duty on the date the agreement comes into force. There are unique provisions also which have been attempted in this agreement, and that shows that India industry is feeling much more confident. We are opening our automobile sector for the first time. The government procurement, though it was opened under the India-UAE CEPA also, but there the threshold limit was put at 200 crore. We have lowered that drastically. There is recognition for GI products, and India and UK both are pinning their hope that they will be reaping the benefit of the GI products. And there is a focus on the gender equality. The two sides are very keen that women should participate in international trade in a big way. This agreement, though it has been signed by two sides, from the Indian side, all actions are complete. The Indian cabinet has given the approval, but this requires approval of both sides of the houses of the UK Parliament. We are expecting that to happen within 6 to 9 months' time. But all will depend on the leadership of UK, how quickly they get it ratified by both houses of the Parliament. When both houses ratify that, a letter will be sent to India and this agreement will come into operation after that. But then we have this time which we need to utilize. We have to look into what kind of regulatory changes may be required in your sector, in your industry. What kind of traceability has to be ensured by you in the supply chain? What kind of capacity building is required at your end, so that we use this period of 6 to 9 months to prepare the industry. So as soon as the zero duty benefit is available, we try to encash from that. Now, if you look into India-UK trade, we are the two largest economy. In fact, UK is the 6th largest economy, and we technically, as of now, is the 5th largest economy. We may be a 4th largest economy in a couple of months, and our bilateral trade is around $56 billion, dominated by the services sector. And services sector is contributing roughly 58% of the total trade, while goods are contributing to 42% of the trade. India is having trade surplus both in the goods and the services. If you look into India's exports of goods, in the last calendar year, it was around 13.25 against import of 9.75. And in the services sector, we performed well. We have an export of around 19.8 billion against import of 13.2 billion. So with the UK, we have overall trade surplus of around $11 billion. Now, when I'm saying that this is really a free trade agreement, because over 99.54% of India's current exports will get zero duty on the date of the entry of the agreement in force. We have not got that kind of concession in any of the agreement, though of course under India-UAE CEPA, most concession has flown to the industry. And while the normal duty on the industrial goods in UK is ranging between 4 to 18%, rather 2 to 18%, though on agriculture product we have as high as duty as 70%. And the good thing is that all these duty will become zero from the date of enforcement. This agreement is providing huge opportunity both for the traditional sectors of exports led by apparel, textile, gems and jewelry, footwear, leather, toys, sports goods, agriculture and processed foods, marine product, as well as the sunrise sectors of exports like machinery, auto, chemicals, pharma, etc. So we have the entire spectrum of our basket of exports which can be exported to UK. As of now, our share in UK's trade is just less than 2.4%. And in fact, UK share in India's trade is even worse, that is around 1.8%. So both sides has to work hard so that they can definitely capture the opportunities which are being provided by India-UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement. It is not the goods only. In fact, the UK has opened the entire agriculture sector from India. 95% of the agriculture tariff line, particularly basmati rice, spices, tea, seafood products, packaged food, all can enter UK at zero duty. And if you look into UK's current import of these products is around $50 billion, our export is around $310 million. So we have huge opportunity. UK has also relinquished the right of safeguard for agriculture products, though they of course are retaining their safeguard provision, and if there is an absence import threatening the domestic industry, they can take recourse to the safeguard method, and so is India. But for the agriculture exports in respect of India, they said they will not be invoking the safeguard, which means that even if the exports of agriculture and food products to India threaten the domestic industry or the manufacturing sector in UK, they will not taking recourse to any safeguard measures. There is huge opportunities coming in the marine sectors. Our current share of marine export to UK is less than 2.25% of the UK's overall import. We need to gain into that. Only few products, for example, if you are looking into pig meat, eggs, semi-milled or fully milled rice, cane or beet sugar, they are only where the concession is not available. Barring those products, everything is allowed to export to UK at zero duty. The other exception will be the certain kinds of vehicle where we will have a quota and reduce duty, where it will be gradually reduced to a certain level. Now, while the agreement itself is in 30 chapters, I don't expect the industry to go through all the chapters. My request to the industry will be to look into some of the chapters of their interest. One will be about the trade in goods sector, where we have a tariff commitment of both sides. The tariff commitment given by India is Annex 2AA, and tariff concession which has been given by UK is the Annex 2AB. So that's an important chapter. Rules of origin are extremely important, because unless you adhere to the rules of origin and meet the rules of origin criteria, you will not be entitled for zero or preferential tariff. For this agreement, we have a product-specific rules of origin for every product. What is the specific product rules of origin can be seen in Annex 3A. This agreement not only just relies on the certificate of origin, which is being issued by some of the agencies in India and some of the agencies in UK. This also believes in the origin declaration by the exporter and importer. I will be dwelling on that in separate slides. There are other important agreements on customs and trade facilitation, and this is extremely important. The two sides have agreed that they will endeavor to release the goods from the customs within 48 hours, and probably that will help in the facilitation. There will be inquiry points which will be created by two sides, and industry can approach those inquiry points for getting any clarification. There will be provision of advanced ruling also, and the two sides can avail the advanced ruling, where it is incumbent on the authorities to provide the clarification within a maximum time of 90 days. We have also agreed to have the AEO in operation with UK. We know that India has signed the AEO agreement with many countries, and UK will be one of the countries who will be partnering to that. And with AEO status, you will not only be getting the Green Channel facility in our country, your exports in UK will also get the Green Channel in clearances. The other important chapter is with regard to trade in services, where the commitment of two sides have been given in Annex 8B. Part of that is with regard to commitment given by India, and part of the other is with regard to commitment given by UK. In the services, we have two kinds of relaxation. One is with relates to the market access, other is with relate to the national treatment. You will see that in number of cases, the concession has been given more on the market express, less on the national treatment, though of course on the national treatment also UK has conceded a lot. In the services sector, except the services which are within the domain of the UK government, barring those services, rest have been opened for services opportunity for the Indian exporter. We have a separate chapter on intellectual property rights also, and this chapter covers the GI. In fact, there is a lot of focus on the GI, and the details of the GI products will be listed in Annex 13B for agriculture and food products, and other will be listed at next 13C. What will be the process, how it needs to be dwell into those chapters, we will detail in subsequent. There is an extremely important chapter with regard to the government procurement. Both sides have opened the government procurement, and both sides will be providing opportunities to the other side also to enter into the government procurement. This is a wonderful opportunity for joint venture between the seaside UK companies should join hands with the Indian companies to look into the government procurement in India. And in the similar fashion, Indian companies should join hands with the UK companies to look into the opportunity which will be provided to these procurement. There is a separate chapter on small and medium enterprises. There is chapter on labor, but labor chapter by and large refers to the ILO commitment only, and this also recognizes the sovereign right of the country with regard to the labor privileges as well. For the first time, we have a separate chapter on gender equality also, where the special focus will be on women and participation of women in the international trade. Now, if you look into the concession, I think it's important to understand what are the tariff, and against these tariffs, we'll be getting zero tariff. So on the processed food sector, the tariff varies and it goes to as high as 70%, where we will have zero tariff. For vegetable oil, the tariff is up to 20%, we will have zero tariff. For auto sector, though, of course, the concession will flow after a certain period, and that too with a cap, we will have the advantage of 18% tariff. In leather and footwear, the tariff is up to 16%, we will have zero. Similarly, for chemicals, where the tariff is up to 8%, we will have zero. For furniture and sports goods, where the tariff is 4%, we will get zero. The bottom line is that India will either be having an edge in the UK market, and they will be having a level playing field with the countries who enjoy zero duty access to UK market. For example, some of the countries like Bangladesh or Cambodia or Pakistan, under the DCTS, they are enjoying zero benefit. Vietnam having a free trade agreement with UK is having a zero duty benefit. So we will be at par with those countries, but we will be gaining much as compared to China, who will be paying MFN tariff in India, whereas Indian exporters will be paying zero tariff. So let me just quickly take you to this slide. And this slide clearly shows that everything is given zero duty at the time of entry of agreement in force. There are few meat products, particularly relating to pig meat, which is not being allowed any concession. There are certain varieties of eggs and eggshells which are not being given tariff concession. Few varieties of meat which have not been given tariff concession. There is few preparation of meat and fish, particularly on the pig side, which is not being given tariff concession. There's only one entry of cane or beet sugar, which is not being given zero duty benefit. Rest the entire product, all manufactured sectors will have zero duty on the entry of the agreement in force, whether they are chemical. The entire textile sector, reasoning from chapter 450 to chapter 63, they will be having zero duty on the date the agreement becomes operational. So is true for footwear sectors also. Now, in the other sectors also, whether it's a gems and jewelry, whether it's engineering goods, iron and steel, whether it's aircraft, everything will be the zero. The only exception will be with regard to some varieties of vacuum, where we will have a quota, and quota will start operating from the 6th year. It will continue up to 14th year, and concession will be gradually reduced. The short point which I am making is that except for few tariff line, not more than 30 at the 8-digit level, and few tariff lines which are under TRP, which are at the 6-digit level. All tariff lines are becoming zero duty the day the agreement comes into force. On the other hand, for UK, there are certain tariff lines which will become zero. There are certain tariff lines which will become zero in a graded manner over a period of 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. There are few tariff lines which will come to a lower duty, not zero duty, and we have a sensitive list which is pretty large, particularly with regard to agriculture product and dairy product, where no concession will flow. So if we weigh in the background of what UK has offered to us and what India has offered, I am pretty sure that the concession given by UK is much more, but then UK is targeting a market of $140 billion, where we are targeting a market of only 5 billion, 1.4 billion, and we are targeting about only 5 crore people. So that has to be seen in this background. Now, when we are talking about the services, and as I told you, services is dominating the trade between the two countries. UK has opened 137 subsectors out of 164 sectors of the services under the General Agreement on Trade in Services. The key services of India's interest, whether it's IT, whether management consultancy, accountancy, engineering, telecom, financial services, education, all have been opened for Indian professionals. In some of the sectors, we will be giving the national treatment also. And India also has opened around 108 subsectors of services, and that includes accounting, telecom, environmental services, air transport services, financial services. We all know that UK is very strong in financial services. We hope that UK company will also look into the GIFT City, which is being developed as the financial capital of India. The good thing is that temporary mobility has been encouraged under the CETA. So we will see the easy issuance of visa for Indian architect, engineers, chefs, yoga teachers, musicians. And the good thing is that double contribution convention will allow those who are going for short-term mobility up to a period of 3 years not to contribute to the social security in UK. And UK professional will also not be required to contribute to social security in India. The social security contribution in UK comes to as high as around 20% and is likely to benefit 75,000 professionals who are annually going to UK, and will result in a saving which is estimated to be around 4,000 crore annually for India. This is likely to benefit the IT sectors the most, but probably we will be gaining much more in many of the sectors, and hoping the Indian professional to go to the UK for short term and use the benefit of an evolving economy. When I'm looking into the goods, the average tariff on the UK goods, which is currently around 15%, will come down to 3%, because on number of products, we will not be reducing the duty to zero. They will become at a lower level also. On some of the segments like biscuit, chocolate, salmon, lamps, cosmetics, aircraft, part, machinery, pharma, plastic goods, and medical devices, we will be providing them the zero duty. Whiskey and the beverages is an area where we have given the concession, and the duty will come down straightway on the date of its operation from 150% to 110%. And gradually over a period of 10 years, it will be reduced to 75%. There is a minimum import price which has also been prescribed. The minimum import price is $5 per liter, but for a bottle, it will be $6.5 per 750 milliliter of water. So the low variety of Indian whiskey have been protected, but the market has been opened for high-end premium variety. Tariff on the silver, which is the largest import item from UK in last year, to over $1 billion, will become zero in 10 years' time. Now, in automotive sector, as we were talking, we will be reducing the duty to 110% to 10% under a quota system. The duty on luxury car will come down straight from 110% to 30% when it becomes operational. For medium-sized car and a small car, from 110%, it will come down to 50% under a quota, and then every year it will be reduced so that it becomes 10% after 10 years. There is no concession for electric and hybrid car in the first 5 years of operation, the concession on electric hybrid car will start from the 6th year onward, because India is also inviting interest in producing the EVs into the country. The duties on some of the other products like soap, perfume, shaving cream, and polish also will be removed to become zero over a period of time. There has been no tariff cut on some of the agriculture products, which everyone thought that the UK will be pushing for, like apples, teas, whey. There is no duty concession on the gold. There is no duty concession on the smartphone, because India is building an ecosystem for a smartphone, and data has been pretty encouraging. In fact, the data for the second quarter of US imports have come, where it says that within a 1 year time, the China share of smartphone in UK market has come, the US market has come down from 61% to 25%. And India's share in 1 year has gone up from 13% to 41%. To smartphone, India has become the largest supplier in UK, getting around 40% of the market. We are building on that, and good thing is that now in the revised PLI scheme, we are looking into developing the parts and components of the smartphone also, so the value addition can be increased substantially. As I told you, it's important that we also adhere to the rules of origin, and that will provide us the zero duty benefit. The rules of origin, as I told you, is specific to a product. For the agriculture product, for plantation, it is wholly obtained. That means product has to be wholly obtained in India. For industrial good, it may be CTA, that means product has to transform at 4 digit. It may be CTSH, where the product has to transform at 6 digit. It may be QVC quality, that means qualifying value condition criteria also. For steel, we have insisted in melt and pour method. That means, unlike the ASEAN, where steel was melted somewhere and poured somewhere and they got the zero duty benefit, for this agreement, both melting and pouring has to be in the country of origin. That means we are not looking into any diversion from any of the sources to the UK market and that goods coming to India. The good thing is that the certificate is just not talking about issuance of certificate of origin by issuing authority. We are happy that the issuing authorities are also issuing that in the electronic format. That will continue for this agreement also. But here the exporter has also been given the option of self-certify the origin of product, reducing the paperwork. UK importer can also rely on his own knowledge for certification. So these two options have also been given to industry. How it will operate, we have to see what kind of guidelines are issued for operating that. That will be subsequent to once these agreements are ratified. The good thing is that for a small value shipment up to 1,000 pound, there is no requirement of any certificate of origin or declaration. And this is likely to provide a great push to the e-commerce and small businesses. I always believe that the time has come for India to encash on the e-commerce opportunity. We have now up to $1,000, no requirement of the certificate of origin for UK. We have the de minimis, which has been withdrawn for China in US market, where over $100 billion market has been opened now, and India and other countries can take the advantage of that. As I told you that in the Annex 3, the specific rules of origin is concerned, where the qualifying value content is to be looked into. The two methods have been prescribed under the agreement. One is the build down method. In the build down method, we are looking into the non-originating value of the goods. In the build up method, we are looking into the value of the originating goods. So what we are doing, we are dividing the value of non-originating goods from the value of goods to see whether the value addition is met or not. There is a standard QVC also. For some of the product, you will see they have mentioned standard QVC. The standard QVC will have either of these criteria. If you are going by the build down method, then in the build down method, if you are taking the X work value, then it will be 40% of the X work value. If you are taking the FOB value, it will be 45% of the FOB value. But if you are going for the build up method, then it will be 35% of either the X work value or the free on board value. So these rules of origin has to met if there is condition of standard QVC. In number of product, you will see it will say QVC with 6% value or maybe 15% value. But wherever it says standard PVC, you have to look into this formula. And if you're meeting this criteria, you're meeting the standard QVC requirement also. The good thing is that for chemical products and plastic, beside these criteria, they have also brought the chemical reaction rules also. So the one option to the industry is to look into what is the specific rules of origin criteria, whether it is CTSH, whether it is CTH, or they can also look into the chemical reaction rule. And if they are meeting the chemical reaction rules, which means that a molecule with new structure by breaking the intramolecular molecule and forming a new intramolecular molecule, or by altering the special arrangement of atoms in the molecule. If that is done, they will be meeting the rules of origin requirement. So it is not necessary that you have the CTH or CTSH criteria. You can meet this requirement through chemical reaction rules also. However, they have also specified that certain varieties of process will not be treated as chemical reaction, which is listed here. For all the rules of origin which we have talked about any product, they have said there are certain non-qualifying operations. So if the industry is doing those operations, they are not meeting the rules of origin requirement, and therefore zero duty will not be available to them. That includes changing of packing, breaking, washing, cleaning. That is even for textile, if they are attaching some accessories like rings, eyelet, or for example, for agriculture product, if it is husking, it will not be treated as that. Simply assembly of part of article to a complete article will not be treated of that. Simple testing calibration will not be treated as a qualifying operation, and any combination of these will not be treated. So in a way, some kind of process, some kind of manufacturing has to be, which should be other than the non-qualifying operation, so that we get the benefit of that. As we talked about, there is a provision of bilateral safeguard also, and bilateral safeguard is there for increase in imports, and through the bilateral safeguard, the other country can suspend the tariff concession. And if the tariff concession is providing the threat to the industry or threatening the industry to the injury, they can take action to that. The bilateral safeguard can be invoked for a period of 2 years. If it is for 2 years, the other side cannot take any retaliatory action. But if it is extended, it is for 4 years, the other side is open to take retaliatory action, which is allowed to them. There is a provision for a provisional safeguard also in emergency situation where you can impose it for 200 days based on the preliminary evidence, but it must be followed by an increase. So there are adequate safeguards inbuilt to take care of the domestic industry. If there is surge in imports which causes or threaten to cause the industry an injury, the government take recourse to that. As we talked about, there is huge opportunity coming in the government procurement. UK companies with 20% domestic sourcing will be classified as class 2 local supplier, which in India case with is a content of 20 to 50%. And they will get all the benefit which is available to class 2 supplier. Though, of course, Indian company with local content over 50% will be a class 1 supplier. And this has opened the government procurement for the company. But when we are talking about the government procurement, this is confined to central government procurement or by their attached office. This is also to central public sector undertaking, which are competing with private entities. Beyond that, government has not opened that. So if the public sector undertaking is not competing with private sector, for example, Food Corporation of India or Uranium Corporation of India, there the procurement will not be available to the UK companies. Similarly, any procurement by state or local government that is not available to the UK companies. As we were talking about, now the new threshold limit for goods and services has been put at SDR 4,50,000, which translate into a value of around 5.5 to 6 crore, because currently SDR is valued at around 124.7 rupees. UK has a very low SDR value of 1,30,000. So 1,30,000 translate into, if you can say, to around 15 lakhs or so, 1.5 crore and so, where the market has been opened. For construction sector, both sides have agreed that only the construction above 60 crore, which is 50 lakhs SDR, will be available to both the sides. Of course, India has maintained the price preference which is available to the MSMEs, and that price preference will continue. We will have huge opportunities which will be offered in the UT procurement, both by the central government entities and by the central government. We will have opportunities in the tenders which are being floated by the Cabinet Office, NHS, Foreign Commandant's Officer. But both the sides have kept the defense and food products which they are procuring for a specific government procurement outside the government procurement. So in a way, defense and agri and food products, if it is for a public distribution purpose or for a government procurement, that is outside the purview of the government procurement. As we talked about the gender equality also, and the agreement has put emphasis on empowering women for the global international trade also. There will be huge information which will be flown and given to the women also. There will be dedicated group will be formed under the CETA, which will be of the government nominees who will be asked to interact with the industry, particularly the women entrepreneurs, and provide them exposure so that they join the international trade. So it's a good beginning which has been made, and I'm pretty sure that Indian women will be taking advantage of that. There is a separate chapter on SMEs also, which is largely on sharing of the information. They have also talked about a contact point for SMEs. So SMEs require any clarification. The contact point on both sides will provide those information. There is a need for identifying the non-tariff barrier also for the SMEs, and the efforts will be made to minimize that. There will be increasing cooperation from both the sides for exploiting the commercial opportunities which are being offered. There will be exchange of the best practices among the MSMEs also, and we are sure that at least the Indian small and medium companies who with the new definition of SMEs are almost comparable to the UK size will be able to take the best advantage of that. We have a separate chapter on the intellectual property right, which basically on the lines of the commitment which we made under the TRIPS and the public health. That will continue, and also talks about the national treatment for all IPR covered by both the sides. As we talked about, there is protection which will be offered to the GI. All that will be required that those GI needs to be put into Annex 13B if they are related to agriculture, and 13C if they are related to other. There will be a working group of IPR which will be scrutinizing such application and putting them in Annex 13B and 13C. Once that happens, the mutual recognition and protection would be available. We have already talked to the government that they should start the work. So as soon as the agreement comes, we should be ready with our list to share with the working group on the IPR. Now, the last slide is on the projected economic impact. We are looking into doubling the trade, which in the last fiscal was to just $56 billion. We expect that to go to at least $112 billion, but I personally feel this is very modest target. We should look into the range of around $150 billion. The UK current import is around $875 billion, and we have just 2.4% share. We have huge opportunity which is being offered by the CETA. UK is expecting that their GDP will get a boost of around £4.8 billion a year, and we are expecting that we will getting a boost of around 34 billion by 2040. It will start gradually building on that. We are expecting that the CETA will provide a job for around 1 million Indians. There will be increasing participation on MSMEs, and we are also looking into further flow of FDI. We know that UK is one of the new investor FDI in India, and so are the Indian companies in UK. But probably this agreement will open huge vistas of opportunities for joint venture and even opening of companies on the both sides. This, as told by the Vice President, also will encourage other countries also to form up such partnership. We are currently engaged in the free trade negotiation with countries such as New Zealand, Chile, Oman, GCC, European Union, and probably a signal will be now visible to the US also. We are not expecting that probably before the terminal date of 1st of August, we will be able to have even mini trade deal, but we are expecting that the very fact that Indian authorities are engaged in a constructive negotiation and 5 rounds of negotiation has happened. Probably India may be given some more leeway before the reciprocal tariff is announced. The strategic takeaway for me is that this is a very comprehensive, inclusive agreement, and the government has put the ball in the court of the industry. Industry has to look into in what way we can best utilize the agreement, and in the process, we not only increase our export, but create the economic opportunity for our country also. So these are, in short, the broad outlines of the presentation, and now the floor is open for any discussion.
Thank you very much, sir, for the detailed presentation covering all the contours and dimensions of India-UK trade agreement. Now I would request all participants to kindly raise hand in the meeting, and we would be requesting you to unmute one by one so that you can ask your queries. Meanwhile, sir, if you can stop the presentation.
Okay, I will do that.
To start with, I would request Mr. Arun Sahu to kindly unmute himself.
Good morning. Thank you, sir, for
Thank
this
you.
nice presentation. Sir, as I asked yesterday also, this chemical ruling, it is applicable only for UK FTA or for all FTA? That's only question.
This is for UK FTA. There, I have to see whether in previous, because I have not seen in previous FTA. Whenever
Right.
you are looking into the rules of origin, look into the specific FTA. Because for every FTA, depending on the domestic sensitivity, the other side emphasis on a different rules of origin. So right now, to the best of my knowledge, this is confined to India-UK CETA.
Yeah, because we are into 39 chapters, so most of the time when this PSR or rules of origin, it is talking about CTH or CTSH. So in that
Yeah.
case, we are failing to give this certificate of origin. But this chemical reaction formulation, it is definitely a good idea to issue CO actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look into the other FTA, but in fact, I have gone through most of them. I have not seen this provision, but
Yes.
I will revert back to you on this particular.
Yeah, I will make a list
Fine.
of questions and I will send to
Fine.
your office.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mishu, kindly unmute yourself. The display name is Mishu. Kindly unmute yourself, please. Mayur Patel, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, sir. My question was is about is the yarn import from the UK in India, will it be the zero duty rated or will there be the concessional rate onto it? We are importing a lamb's full yarn from the UK right now.
Most of the some of the man-made segment is
Right.
having lower duty, but yarn, if you're talking about the bar, by and large, yarn has a zero duty. What I will
Right.
request you is that I have given you the concession list. Look at Annex 2B, 2B. That provides the details of all the products in which India has given concession to you.
Okay. And will that affect the benefit on the ROCTL or the borders? Because when we import the yarn, we manufacture the goods and send back to UK as well. So will that affect the benefits of
No,
ROCTL, sir?
no. We have not looked into FTA imports with regard to the averaging of any benefit, because when we are averaging the benefit, the government is supposed to look into account how much is the import on the MFN tariff, on how much is import on the FTA tariff, and accordingly they average it out. So it will not impact your ROCTL or ROTF entitlement if you are importing under this route. If you are importing through advanced license route or the UESCZ scheme, the rate for those holders are little different.
Right, right. Correct, sir. All right, sir. So no problem. I'll just go to Annex 2B.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Karthikeyan sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, my concern will be for the garment exports from our part from Tirupur to UK.
Yeah.
I think after this FTA, if he goes on the rules of origin as per the certification, it will be too tough, sir, actually, because 1 or 2 certificates, otherwise 10 certificate in a month, it will be okay through this portal, I think. But if we are exporting, I think 80% of our goods has been exporting to UK. If we have a month around 300, 400 certificate of origin through this portal, I think it would be very tough situation actually. This is a call for development of the portal because each and every area has to be typed there in the portal. It
No,
has to be
that's why I'm saying that if your importer is sure of the supply chain and there is traceability inbuilt into that, he
yes,
on its own can declare it
yeah,
and he can get the duty benefit. That's why it is not just confined to certificate of origin, which will be issued by the government agency. You have the option of exporter declaration, you have the option of importer declaration as well. So a couple of options has been given, and I'm pretty sure that UK importer in many of these cases, particularly in case of garment, may insist for traceability also. So
yeah.
if the traceability is there, on their own they can provide the declaration and get it duty free under the agreement.
Traceability is always there in the RICS. We are doing all there in the RICS registration through textile
Yeah.
committee and all. We
Yeah.
have clear traceability. We have given a statement. I
Yeah.
think I'm also, as I read that some of the rules of origin, we have some exporter declaration also permitted.
Yeah.
The
No, no, it's
further
the exporter,
guidelines,
not only the exporter, even the importer declaration is permitted.
yes, sir. If
So now
government
you
has
have
given
the
some,
now you have the option.
yes,
Earlier, in most of the cases, you were supposed to just to have the certificate of origin to prove the origin of goods. Now, in these kinds of agreement, we are relying on the trust, and we are imposing trust in the trade, and
yeah.
both importer and exporter can provide such declaration.
That's what we are also expecting, sir. Through
Yeah.
guidelines, if anything government has insisted in this case,
No,
better
no.
be suggested for.
I think wait for it. The agreement has not yet been ratified.
Yes,
The guideline and other things will flow only when it is ratified.
exactly, sir. If it is any initiation, any further inputs that has been asked through FIEO, could you please recommend for the REX input that will be better for the government exporters for this certification rules of origin cases.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hetal Doshi, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the presentation. My concern was very similar to Karthikeyan. I would request that if a recommendation can be made whereby REX registration wherever was applicable earlier, if same REX certification could be extended for this FTA also,
So
it
Rex,
will really.
what do you mean by Rex registration? Based on the Rex registration, your importer can give a declaration.
Yeah.
The point is that any agreement provides an enabling environment. All right.
Right.
This is for either the exporter, based on the Rex declaration, he declares that, or the importers provide the declaration.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about exports wherever we were allowed to
The
give a
point is,
REX.
if you are giving a declaration which is backed by a REX, there is
Yeah,
no need for government to intervene. Based on
yeah,
your declaration, clearance will be provided.
yes,
Or based on your REX declaration, the importers declare the same. The clearance will be given.
right, right, right. So, sir, just another question
Yeah.
was any indication when will this? I know this will be subject to approval by British Parliament, but do
Yeah.
we have any indication as to when this will come into effect?
In fact, that's why we are expecting a time frame of 6 to 9 months.
Okay, sir. Great. Thank you. Thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Souvik, kindly unmute yourself.
Sir, sir, I have one quick question. Can we get any Excel list of HSN from FIEO that what are the HSN are going to be covered under that?
In fact, I think let us look into the negative list, what is not covered. As I
Okay.
told you, in fact, my presentation covered, there are only certain tariff lines which have been specifically mentioned where concession has not flown. There are 6 tariff lines where TRQ will operate. That is all related to vehicle. Rest becomes zero duty immediately.
Understood.
So all out of 11,000 tariff lines at 8 digit, except for 30 odd at 6 digit and 6 which are under TRQ, rest becomes zero the day it becomes operational.
Okay. Sir, also, do we are going to get this presentation?
What you get?
Can we get this presentation?
I have no problem. We will share that. No issue there.
Thank you so much, sir. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Pritish Thakur, kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Sir, I want to understand the impact of export of industrial valves, which comes under 84 HSN code. 84. So what about the pipe fittings and steel items, basically
Everything
industrial
is
valve?
zero. Everything is zero. All these products will enter
Okay.
UK market at zero duty.
Okay, so we can tell this benefit to our client
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, Government of India is also going for the roadshow in UK to sensitize the UK importers about this agreement and why they should increasing their procurement from India. You can also do that, sir.
Okay, sir, are we planning the same thing for other countries also, like Europe, like Germany, Hungary, or these countries in future?
Only when we have an EU early harvest. Right now, we are working with the EU also, not for a broad free trade agreement, at least to start with on some of the product under the early harvest. Once that is concluded, probably the government will take a call on roadshow for those products in these countries.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ankit, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Ankit, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Mishra ji, CR Mishra, kindly unmute yourself, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
It is nice to see you once again, and also it's a great session, sir. A lot of things led to learn, and a good initiative by the government, and definitely we'll have a good batting field there in the UK market. Though they are in surplus, I believe this initiative will take it further ahead. And it has been taken care from all the aspects, like the compliance sector, as you told that the specific committees are being formed to take care of all these compliances complications in future, and definitely it will help to push our agri product and all the products those who have been subsidized to put in the UK market in a larger way. But sir, I have a concern. As you know, the market characteristic of UK and India are quite different. And for India is a growing and aspirant and ambitious market, and it is a saturated. UK is a completely it is a highly and precisely highly and it's a good market. It's a complete developed market. So, as many of the 90% of the product, UK products are also going to be subsidized at less duty. Three sectors, sir, I consider it is my concern is the three sectors. So that is the high tech engineering goods. High tech goods, I think if the goods will be subsidized from UK, and India is a growing market, and UK is a totally developed market. If high tech UK, definitely there is a chance that UK will flood India with the high tech goods. So I think it is going to be a trade imbalance. I believe it is make a trade imbalance in high-tech goods. And in the long term, I think the long-term structural imbalance. It may lead to a long-term structural imbalance in this sector. My second concern is that suppose the premium segment, as you see, as I told you that Indian market characteristic is different from UK market characteristic. So in the premium segment of automotives, those who are Indian aspirant buyers in those segments, I think in those automotive sectors in India is going to be affected. But the high premium segment automotives will flourish in the Indian market, and that sector maybe they are going to be affected in a bigger way. Sir, I believe I hope these things.
Point is that any free trade agreement is a give and take. You just cannot enter into a situation where you only get and you don't agree to give something. If you are talking about high-tech products, if the high-tech products are coming into the country, they will be definitely helping the domestic manufacturing in a big way. I agree, probably UK having the sophistication of technology will have an edge there, but I'm pretty sure that Indian professionals who have the capability will match that. On coming to the automobile sectors, please bear in mind that we are keeping the tariff to start with at 30% and for mid-size car 50%. In none of these segments we have provided that kind of protection to any industry. The exception was alcoholic beverages. There also we are reducing the. I personally feel that 30% tariff is still an adequate protection. Unless the Indian industry, including the automobile industry, face the foreign competition, how do we expect them to explore the global market? So probably the testing has to be done at the domestic front. In some of the segment, I totally agree, probably we may have to be providing some concession which may come maybe at a cost to the domestic industry, though I'm not subscribing to that view at this point of time. But that's the give and take policy.
Sir, I would like to
Thank you very
add
much, sir.
something here, Dr. Sai or Mr. Mishra. You see, we have reflected on this matter of high technology coming in from the UK or from any country. But I believe that it will be something for us to think about and to innovate and to increase our product qualities so that we are able to compete with those countries in the years to come. If the new technology will not come into our country and challenge us, we are not going to improve and going to be able to supply goods not only to India but all over the world.
I do
Take
understand,
this
sir, but
as an opportunity of goods coming in. Let the high technology come, it becomes something for us to chase and carry out. So don't worry about that. In a year or 2 or 3 years, you also will be able to do the same. Another thing that you have to look at is that with this trade agreement, a lot of UK companies should start thinking of manufacturing in India with their technology and our labor. And that itself then opens up the market both for them, for India, as well as taking goods back to the UK. The idea is not only for each company to be earning for itself, idea also to create employment and for India to become at international level. And it doesn't mean the goods only go back to the UK, they could go to the US or any other country. Don't forget, other FTAs are also in the pipeline. They will come and we will sustain. Don't worry about it. Let challenges come. India will win. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Arvind, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Thank you. Thanks for the nice presentation. My question was on the automobile sector as well. So, does this sector cover the heavy equipment, sir, like earth movers or heavy industrial?
No, you are talking from the export side. What exactly is the
Import
issue?
side, sir. Import side.
Import side, that's why I'm saying that I'm not sure. Look into the concession which is given in the appendix. I referred to in the presentation. I'm not sure what is the tariff, specific tariff on a specific item, because as I told you, India has provided upfront tariff exemption. India has provided tariff exemption over a period of time. India has only reduced the tariff, and India has kept a long number of items under its sensitive list. So for the UK point of view, I'm very sure, except for 30 odd products at the 6-digit level, few at the 8-digit level, rest is free. But from the Indian side, it's little difficult. Please look into the annex. The annex provides the exact HS code on which the tariff concession has flown. What is the tariff concession? What is the schedule of tariff concession? Everything is listed there.
Sir, wonderful, sir. One more question is, does this, the automobiles, import of automobiles, does it cover the used automobiles as well?
No. When we are talking about that, all second-hand goods in any case are restricted for imports, except when in case of some of the second-hand car, India at one point of time has allowed that. The very basic import policy is only for the prime goods. So any second-hand goods, unless it is specifically allowed for import, remains restrictive for imports.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. B. Swaminathan, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Swaminathan, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Sir, please ask your query. Sir, I guess some issue with the network. Saudamini, madam, kindly ask your query.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the presentation. As you mentioned during the presentation under chapter 23 for women, empowerment and gender equality, I would like to know how will the government really execute, giving the opportunities to women entrepreneurs?
The agreement is providing an enabling environment. The government of the two sides have to act that. And that's why they are talking about a working group. The working group will consist of the government representative, but the provision itself says that working group officers will be interacting with the women entrepreneurs on their side, look into the challenges which they are facing, and try to address those challenges. There will be increasing cooperation also on both the sides. Since FIEO is also he has established the sheeted hub in India, we will also be very active, and we will start discussion on these points in various seminars which will be organizing for the sheet trade. And probably we will work with the government so that whatever enabling environment has been provided to the agreement, that helps the Indian entrepreneurs, particularly the women entrepreneurs and women-led businesses, to take the advantage of this CETA.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. SK Raj, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Raj, SK Raj, kindly unmute yourself. Lift up overseas, kindly unmute yourself. Saurabh Bharadwaj, sir, kindly ask your query.
Yeah, good afternoon,
Hello.
sir. Thanks
Hello.
for the presentation. I would like to ask regarding the medical consumables and pharmaceuticals devices. Will they fall under 0% tariff?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Abhijit, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. It's great that we've got the FTAs working out. A requirement for sure that we will have to comply to will be the Carotar requirements. The requirements of Carotar ask for a lot of details from our vendors, and many of them are not willing to share the intricate details. Any suggestions on overcoming this, sir?
Since we are having a separate chapter on the trade facilitation, where customs of the two sides would be working, I'm pretty sure that from the UK side, seeking of the information will not be that challenge, and customs usually was be very restrictive when it comes to the import through the ASEAN route, because they were apprehensive that goods from the other country were being traded to that. With the UK, we are not having that kind of challenge. So I'm pretty sure that the certificate of origin which will be given by the agencies or the declaration given by the exporters will by and large will be accepted. My request to the industry would be that if you are eligible, try to get the AOA status, because once you are getting the AOA status, the benefit will flow to you. There will be lesser scrutiny and probably maybe no scrutiny when the goods are moving from AUO partners.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ghosh, kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Ghosh, kindly unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the presentation. Sir, I just need to know, under the HS code 8432, agricultural machinery, all the exports from India is under 0% duty, right?
Yes.
Sir, I need to know, sir, if you can throw some light on the fact that exports of seafood from India.
I'm sorry, your voice is cracking. I'm not getting you.
Sir, he is asking about export of seafood from India. He wanted to know what would be the impact on this.
No, in fact, that market will be open for that, because right now our seafood, our share in the UK market is around 2.25% only. It's a $5 billion market. Now we will have the zero duty on the entire seafood chapter, except one or two tariff line under chapter 16. Otherwise, the entire chapter 3 of the marine product will have zero duty in the UK market. I'm pretty sure this will provide huge opportunity to the Indian marine sector.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Shankar Nagar, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, thank you, and appreciate the very good, sessions organized by the FIEO. And I had a couple of questions for this.
Sir.
First thing, we are the popcorn manufacturer and exporters from India, and our product is, zero duty, right?
Yeah.
And second thing, I want that, we are using the ITC code. Normally, the ITC code will be unilateral. That is, our code is 1905 9040. But our importer is facing small issue in this position, because that UK customs is not accepting. There is no 1905 9040. So they are, using the different code for this thing. So we are our main exporters.
Yeah. Sir, to the best of my understanding, up to 6 digit HS code are universally the same. The changes are happening beyond 6 digit. The only exception in case of India is chapter 98, where we have a chapter for the project imports, where globally it is not so. Otherwise, up to 6 digit level, there is no change. In any case, if you want to see what correspond to the 8 digit on the Indian side to the UK side, my request to you will be to go through the Indian trade portal, choose UK and see against the 8 digit what is the corresponding HS code of the UK.
I agree, Sam. See, that is what I'm asking. That see, 1905. See, that is a 6 digit itself. It's a difference for this thing. We are sending it's 1905 9040, that they are unable to import in the same thing 1905 9040 or 1905 9080. They are importing in the 2005 59. That is what they are recommending, that UK port.
I'm not sure. One of the two sides is erring in the classification. It can't be that one product. I'm not sure whether you are erring in the classification or the other side is erring in the classification. But the short point is up to 6 digit. Every product will be treated similarly in both the countries. In your case, I think one has to decide whether product classified in chapter which you are quoting or the chapter which your importer is quoting.
Importers is quoting for that because an importers get the clarification from the UK government. The UK government is insisting to use that, I mean, whatever that code recommended by the UK for this thing. They are not accepting the
So
code we are using.
my request to you will be, if that is the issue and if the code which UK side is recommending is not being accepted by the customs, we will flag to the customs. Customs is part of world customs cooperation also, where they meet annually and the two sides have to decide which will be the exact classification.
I agree. Say, as far as ours is concerned, absolutely no problem. The Indian side, the UK side is they are creating that we are supplying to the various customers.
Sir, I will not be able to give you a decision because I'm not sure whether your classification is correct or UK side classification is correct. The short point which I'm making is that up to 6 digit, a product will be classified under the same heading in all countries across the world.
I agree. That is a homogenized code. I fully agree on that. That is what I am really surprised about it. For this,
I would request you may
This is not something which is related to CETA. Please flag that issue. Send us a mail. We will look into that and revert back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I think, sir, I will just give a little clarification. If you have to adhere by the UK side, please look at their actual description up to 8 digits and also go through the explanatory notes attached to the HS code, whether your product complies. And if it does comply with the UK explanation, then you can go ahead and put the UK code. It should not really matter. And you can give a note somewhere that that is what you have done. I don't think that should be a big problem as long as you adhere to it and comply with it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Suresh, kindly unmute yourself.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. This is Vish from, we are one of the manufacturers of diamond cutting tools. And we do export. And our commodity falls under chapter 82 and 84. So what will be the duty structure in the importing country, sir? Whether it is zero duty?
It's zero. All products under 82, 84, they are attracting. They will be zero when we operationalize this agreement.
So it's completely zero. So no need to pay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Complete chapter 82 and chapter 84.
Absolutely.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And also this CETA will applicable, it still take more times, right? 6 months time it will take.
Yes.
Fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Pradeep, kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. This is regarding medical, like surgical instruments and medical devices for orthopedic surgery. Now, much of the, are these going to be zero tariff?
You're talking about exports or imports?
Exports as well as imports.
Export, straightway zero tariff. Import, a lot of medical devices have been allowed at zero duty, but there are few exceptions also. My request to you will be kindly look into the annex, which I have quoted. The annex provides the complete details of the tariff on every tariff lines.
Because there's a compliance with, because if you are importing knee joint replacement, hardly is like at the moment, nothing is coming from the UK. All is coming from Germany or from France or from the US.
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. So far as importability is concerned, we have not put importability restriction on UK. If it is issue of tariff, please look into whether on the knee replacement we have provided zero tariff or not. On the export side, I am very clear because UK has offered everything at zero duty to us.
So that would be very good because we will be extremely price competitive worldwide.
Wonderful. No, in fact, in medical devices, yesterday we were discussing and there's huge opportunity of a joint venture between UK and India.
Yeah.
I think this is an area where we need to work on that.
Sure.
And probably the industry has also to look into whether some part of manufacturing is done in India, some in UK, looking into the UPS market also. UK is having the best of the so far BT arrangement with 10% tariff. None of the other country has got 10% tariff. So we can look into if part production is done in India, part production in UK, and then we can also explore the US market.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Lift up overseas, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for participation. for presentation. And my only question is still when these new tariffs will be applicable, around how much time it will take around.
So we are expecting within 6 to 9 months time. I'm not sure what priority they will give because after all, two houses of the parliament has to approve that. But since the Prime Minister of UK has shown keen interest, I'm pretty sure he will pushing that. Of course, there will be some of the trade unions also who may be opposing some of the provision, but probably that is something which the UK has to take care. From an Indian side, everything has been done. We are ready. It is up to the UK to operationalize it quick.
Okay, okay, thank you. And one more thing, sir. Actually, we have segments. Like, what about what will be the impact on the footwear and the automobile industry according to the upcoming tariffs? So, according to your perception, how much it will be impact?
No, you are talking about the exports.
Yeah.
No, in fact, yesterday the Commerce Ministry is having a meeting, and the entire footwear industry is very confident that they will be getting much more market access, more in the non-leather sector, because in non-leather sector the duty was 12, which has become 0. But in the non-leather sector, probably we have to augment production. A lot of global companies have now come to India, and we have to look into the opportunities because the world is moving from leather to non-leather.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Arvind Goenka, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Namaskar, Rajesh. Arvind here. I'm sorry, good afternoon. I missed the presentation. I joined late. My question is regarding imports into India. So, like this product PVC leather, it falls under chapter 5903. So it's mentioned EIF.
That means the day entry into force, the May it operationalized, that duty will come into operation. Whether it's EIF 0, it says 0.
It just mentions EIF. There is
that means it will become 0 the day agreement come into force.
Okay. So like
EIF means entry into force.
Okay. So, will the UK company have to comply to some requirements regarding origin requirements, or
No, they have to do that. Origin requirement, only concession will flow when they meet the origin requirement.
Okay. And is there any possibility to give a presentation not to make it EIF now, or it's too late now?
No, it's too late.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kishore, kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Kishore, kindly ask your query.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to ask you some points that we are from a cosmetic industry. So what is the benefit is going for this cosmetic industry? It's a free trade, or we have the import duty will reduce?
No. You're talking about on the export side, or you're talking about the
import? We are
import side. On the cosmetics, we have given concession to UK. Duty will come to 0. There are certain cosmetics on which the duty will become 0 on the date of entry into force. There are certain cosmetics in which gradually it will come to 0. So you have to look into what exactly is the HS code of that cosmetics. Look into the tariff concession which India has announced, which is given in Annex 2. Please look into that and you can find an answer.
When we can come to know this HSN code and what kind of duty will applicable?
That's the annexure provide. The annexure provide each HS code and what is the staging of tariff of that. There will be, let us say, mention of EIF. It is EIF, that means on the day this CETA operationalized, duty will become 0. If it is say E5, that means in 5 phases, it will be reduced to bring it to the 0. So for every product, there is different tariff treatment, and that's why I said if you are talking about the export, it is relatively easy because except for few, everything becomes 0. But on the import side, we have to see the specific tariff line and then give you an answer.
Okay, sir. And one or two more questions.
What I will do after this, we will send you a separate list of the concession that HS code wise for export and HS code wise for import.
Sir, this effect from what? It's a 3 month or it's more than a 3 month?
No, it's more than 6 months. More than 6 months. So I will be happy it happens between 6 to 9 months.
Okay,
but
6 to 9
after it all depends on the UK government, how they push it further.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Arun, kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. This is Arun. We are from coconut processing industry.
Yeah.
We are already moving the cargoes to UK now.
Yeah.
Some customers are expecting the DDP method for the door delivery over there. So, in this concern, whether the VAT will also be removed over there in the local movement of UK.
No, VAT. No, please bear in mind, FTA is only talking about the customs tariff. VAT and others are a kind of equalization levy domestic industry pays, and to that extent on imports also it's level. Even in India, when we are giving the concession, I am not giving concession on the IGST because the domestic industry bears the burden of that. So I don't expect any concession on the VAT because VAT, if you are going, you are getting a credit of the VAT which can be adjusted in subsequent sale as well.
Okay, sir. Okay. So the coconut industry people can also will be benefited in this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Srinivasan, sir, kindly unmute yourself. Please ask your query, sir.
Yeah, thank you. This is Srinivasan from Chennai. And thank you for this presentation and opportunity. My question is, are this FTA 2025 UK tariff benefits applicable to products imported into India after value addition in free trade warehousing zone and after that exported to UK? Is this applicable?
No. You are importing from where?
From China.
If you are importing from China, you have to see what is the rules of origin requirement.
Okay.
Assuming the use of origin requirement is CETA.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are converting at the 6-digit level,
okay,
then you will be eligible for that. Assuming there is standard qualifying criteria, then you have to meet the criteria of 40% or 45%, you will be getting the benefit of that. So rules of origin of the product has to be seen. And based on that, if you're importing from China and re-exporting, you are meeting the whatever is the rules of origin criteria, you will get the benefit.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir. I am Sandeep Awasthi from Kanpur Writers, member of FIEO from Kanpur. We
Yes,
are
sir.
manufacturing and exporting fountain pens and roller pens and
Yes, sir.
their parts to
Yes,
UK and other Western countries also. So, in respect to current FTA, my
Yes.
two questions simple are that
Yeah.
first is that as you have informed us that it, as I understand that it will take at least 6 to 9 months to be applicable. Is it
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And the second is for writing instruments, how it will affect. Do you have some information right now?
No, writing instrument you will benefit it because whatever duty you are paying currently, that will become zero.
Okay.
So importer will have an advantage when he is taking the supply from you. If he is taking supply from some other country, he will paying the duty. When he's taking supply from you, he will not be required to pay duty. So you will becoming much more competitive in UK market as compared to your competitors.
And will we need to give some proof or some letter or confirmation for this that
No,
he
you
can avail it?
No, the rules of origin requirement, whatever the rules of origin requirement for fountain pen, you have to meet that. There will be an agency appointed who will issue rules of origin requirement. There is an option for you also to certify the rules of origin requirement, which is being met by you. There is an option to the importer also. So 3 options will be available, and you two have to decide which option you want to exercise so that the proof of origin is there.
Okay. Thank you. So nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nair, kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Prajit Nair, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, please ask your
Thanks, sir, for the presentation. So since this CETA seems to be more comprehensive and inclusive when compared to other trade agreements, would BIS have an impact on the further proceedings or negotiations as such?
No, the BIS is something which is as a part of the national treatment. All imports have to follow BIS. What minister was saying that when you are importing from an advanced economies, the chance of substandard goods coming into India is much lower. And therefore, for such imports, he will see that BIS registration is expedited. So my answer to you is that BIS, if it is applicable on import, it will apply on these imports also. But government is looking into that some of the reputed sources can be expedite the BIS registration for those companies. That will happen.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And last one, sir. Would the DCTS be discontinued immediately upon implementation of this CETA, sir?
DCTS for India, because in this you are getting better concession. So automatically, as of now, it has not been discontinued. DCTS is scheme. But with the countries, we have number of free trade or concessional duty agreement. You have the option to see which is best suited to you.
You're right. Note. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Karimullah, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, sir. Actually, we are into the granite slab exporting.
Yeah.
So, after giving the new tariffs, so how much it will affect?
You will have zero duty. So please export more. UK market is open for you now.
Yes, sir. Because actually they are stocking here only. So whenever the new tariffs will open, so then only they can export like that. So that's why we are just want to confirm that.
So that's why I'm saying we are expecting that within 6 to 9 months time it will operationalize. If it happens, we will let you know. But that's the time frame in which we are working.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will take up last couple of questions. Vetgo Enterprises, kindly unmute yourself. Vetgo Enterprises, G Sales, kindly unmute yourself. Maybe some technical issue at their end, sir. Sir, we may wind up with your closing or Vice President sir's closing remarks now.
So in fact, I have spoken enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Kindly ask your query. Some technical issue at their end, sir. We may wind up with the session.
Thank you. In fact, let me thanks everyone, particularly my Vice President, who not only participated but supplemented me on some of the issues also. This is the first of the series of virtual session which we are organizing with the industry. We will be updating you on the CETA aspect from time to time. My request to the industry is that if you have any queries relating to CETA, please do write to us. We are committed to respond to any query within 24 hours. And we would like to work very closely with the industry so that whatever benefit has been offered to the industry actually result in gain to the economy. So with these words, I thank all of you once again, and we look forward for very close interaction with our members.
Thank you, Dr. Ajay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.